Hey everybody, this is Retro Challenge Gamer, and we are moving on to World 3 of my Super Mario Maker 2 world, and we're moving on to a forest-based world. And I had a mix of ideas for this world, and as we go through it, you'll get to see that how wildly separate and disparate these sorts of ideas were for a forest-based world. So the Grinder Forest was actually your typical jungle forest level. And I introduced one of my favorite gimmicks, which isn't water actually, if you must know. But yes, I introduced water here in a safe zone, so you can kind of see how it affects your player, how it affects your movement. But vines was one of them, and a grinder was the second gimmick here. Ignore the pipe, or ignore the vine. We are not going to go after that one. That's for secrets later. A 10 coin if you want to get all 10 before the Wiggler gets to you. So now there's a split in path, actually. Neither path is better than the other. You can actually take either path and get to the end just fine. But the bottom path is the one I'm going to show you now, and then in a later video, I'm probably going to show you the top path. So now I introduce water and grinders. Grinder being my favorite gimmick in Super Mario Maker 2. I don't know, I just like the look and feel of them. And of course add Cheep Cheeps in for good measure and difficulty. So for our first level in the jungle's theme or setting, it's pretty short, but it does its job. It does the purpose that it's meant to do, which is introduce you to this new world of Wigglers and Cheep Cheeps and piranha plants that shoot fire, which I don't think I introduced up until this point. So I think that's actually a new enemy. So, but the shape of the lake there that became a T eventually was actually just a small little bar of water that went across the top, and then I actually added the T portion later on once I started finalizing and polishing the rest of the world after most of the levels were completed. So a lot of these looks of these overworlds weren't actually finalized until towards the end. But anyway, we're going to enjoy myself. I don't know, do I get a no, I don't get a perfect. Ooh, I do so bad. That just gives me 1 up, not 3 or 5. That was terrible. I think I get worse as we go across the rest of the worlds. So this is another water level. It was a little hard to design, but once I figured out what the gimmick was going to be for the water level, it actually came together pretty quickly. So, and then the name of it came after I finished making the level, the Submerged Armory. So, seeing as up to this point I hadn't used bomb-bombs very much, and it was a type of enemy I kind of wanted to use more, it just made sense to introduce them here and have them be the armory that we were talking about. And to that end, I think the first underwater level, I did not use a specific background here. This background that you see right now looks like a sunken underwater ship background. And these enemies are just not letting me through, are they? Yeah, those types of mechanical, man-made looking structures in the background, I did not use those, I think, in the first water level. Because it made sense here, because it was an underwater armory, that you would see something like that in a level like this. So it was even those types of design decisions I was thinking about when I made this level. And I do believe that is the one and only blooper mother in the entire super world I made. There is no other blooper mothers in this game after that. So if you want a little bit of trivia, there it is. We will never find another mother. So the remainder of the level was just trying to get through this last gauntlet, which I did horrible on, and I was just like, forget it, just go, 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 go. So red cannon bills can actually be very useful in shooting up things other than red bullet bills. And shoot it out at fast speeds. Eh, 1 minute, 28 seconds. That ain't bad. It's not a bad time. And of course, like my son wanted, we have 2 more houses left for mini games. He wanted 3 houses for every world. Bless his heart. Match and win. Everybody's favorite minigame. Huzzah! We start with a star, so 5 1-ups almost guaranteed. And we're in World 3, and we're already in the 30s in our lives. Not bad progress. Now we get to our second ghost house. This one, I decided to do a little bit something different. It's still almost the same concept as the first one, the House of Doors. So there's a lot of doors going on here, and I actually use them to really good effect. However, I wanted a more vertical nature to all this. So, of course, donut blocks introduced in a very safe area so you can get an idea of what they do and what happens when you step on them. So now here's the main draw of the level, the Tower of Spooks, this tower. So I wanted a vertical section with a whole bunch of branching paths that you pretty much crisscross up, down, and back up again using these little power blocks, the P-switch blocks, blocking off and opening up avenues of, I guess, route? I can't think right now. I can't think of the words. But it was hard to design, even though I liked the idea. This, I think, since I made all these levels in sequential order, this level actually took more than a single day's worth of planning to kind of figure out. Because I wanted everything to kind of sync up just fine. Because now we're going back down the tower, but in a specific order. Because you can't go down normally, because that's blocked off. So figuring out a route up, down, and slightly back up again, and blocking off routes so there's one true path, took some planning. And then, of course, adding extra 10 coins, pink coins here and there to get along the way, took a little more planning. So this level wasn't exactly easy to create. But I feel it's fair. I don't feel it's that challenging. And I feel it's actually pretty in tune with what a ghost house, ghost level should be. In my mind. Your opinion may differ. Okay, that is literally one of the hardest jumps in this level. It's very hard to time the faster winged boo section loop with the slower boo loop. So, I'm calling them loops, but they're rings. But since we don't have all 3 pink coins to get the door, we now have to face Boom Boom. So now the only difference is he's got wings now, and you got donut blocks. But he's still fairly easy, and you can just go right along your merry way and complete the level.
Oh yeah,
I'd say that was a well done and well designed stage. I may be biased, but I thought that was really good. The secrets require a little more extra time to branch out and get, though. Yeah, the infamous pop and win. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I put them in there. If I had my way, I wouldn't actually put any pop and wins. But my boy wanted them all. So enjoy them while you got them. They're basically free 1-ups. You don't need any skill for it. Okay, this stage actually reached a limit. I reached the slope limit. There's an actual slope limit, and it was in the subworld version. So first things first, there's poisonous slime. It doesn't become too big of a factor in this stage. As you can see, it's slowly rising. I tried a faster speed, like the second, not the medium speed, and it was too fast. And of course, fast speed is way too fast. So slow speed was the only speed I could do that seemed reasonable enough with all the obstacles you had to work through. And it just doesn't become much of an issue in this level unless you really, really suck and you can't rise up the level fast enough. Now in terms of the hardest jump in this level, it's this one. Getting off this vine and onto that wall jump up there is literally one of the hardest things to do. Even now, it is super hard, as you can see. I mean, this is me. When I go through this stage, this is my make or break point. If I can't get past this stupid thing, I'm just not going to get past the rest of the level. And of course, we have Grinder Fest City as you climb up vines. This is me starting to intermingle all the gimmicks and the gizmos together now. The more you get, the deeper you get into the super world. And I felt after that, you've earned a checkpoint. And now we get to introduce a new item, a new power-up, Raccoon Mario. And the arrows and the coins are there to guide you where you need to go with Raccoon Mario. Now, when I first played this level and I tried to make it for Raccoon Mario, I had no idea how to work him. So building something for Raccoon Mario is actually, and I totally wrecked that up, but building something for Raccoon Mario was extremely hard for me to do. In fact, I don't think I optimized this level for Raccoon Mario, not like I did with later levels, since I built this sequentially. So he is not actually fully utilized as well as he should have been in this level because I didn't know how to work him. And so I was literally learning how to work Raccoon Mario as I was... Okay, is it Squirrel or Raccoon? I want to say Raccoon, but I think it's Squirrel Mario. But I was learning how to work him as I was building the level. So if it looks like it's kind of hastily done on including him as a power-up, you're kind of right, because this was my first time experimenting with the Squirrel Mario. But still, I actually I reached a limit, the slope limit. So, kind of funny that I had to downgrade some of my design there to actually make it so Super Mario Maker 2 could accept my level. So now we move on to the next level, which a lot of people are actually playing. It's actually one of my most played levels in my Super World, and that is Wendy's Railway Fortress, I think. The title is misleading, but it's more in line with the moving platforms across tracks is what I was referring to, rather than like an actual railway or train or anything like that. But yeah, a lot of deaths, and all in pretty much the same place, for reasons as you can see. It is possible to make those jumps as Big Mario, Super Mario. It's just easier as Small Mario. But a lot of people have played this. One person even booed it. Probably because he was expecting a railway and didn't get what he wanted. So now we're going to introduce elements from the last 3 worlds, actually. So grinders from this world, moving platforms from World 1, and I think something later on. And then of course donut blocks, as you saw in my outtakes. Lots of stuff. And of course I wanted a nice little dip in the lava there. See how well you would do on your twirl jumps. If you haven't been practicing, you should. That was a terrible jump. You can make that jump in between the 2 grinders and avoid the magic from the magic Koopa. And so this was actually the second checkpoint I made for the level. Originally, that first checkpoint didn't actually exist. I don't know why, what I was thinking. I put the later checkpoint as the only checkpoint in the level. Thankfully, when playing through this again, I made the command decision to put the second checkpoint as the first checkpoint where you saw it at the beginning. Now, yeah, those jumps that you saw me do, that goes underneath those pillars with the donut blocks, you can do them with Super Mario, but I chose to do them as Small Mario because it's just easier, and I just needed to get the recording done. Alright. No, as a matter of fact, I think I was wrong about what I said earlier. there's actually one checkpoint, but it was later in the level, in between the donut blocks, and I moved it forward one. That's what I did. I moved the one checkpoint forward. Yeah, and I got caught by my own trap at the top there. So, goes to show that it was actually worth putting those 2 grinders there to limit your movement. Certainly limited mine. One last hurdle, and then you jump over Wendy, and that's it. World 3 is complete. So, I've been told by some beta testers, or testers from my community and everything, who played this, and they all liked it, they liked the Super World, that from here on, starting with World 4, the difficulty overall starts ramping up. And it starts getting harder by World 4. I don't know if that's true. In fact, I think World 4 and 5 are kind of in the same difficulty range, but, you know, I'm not objectively looking at this like players are. I'm looking at it from my own subjective view as the creator. So, but yeah, the next stage of the journey is now underground, which is weird transitioning from a forest to underground, but yay, whatever, it's Mario. So, that's all for this video, and we'll proceed on with levels that some people say are harder than the last 3 worlds. So until next time, see you later, and stay retro. And another airship underground. That's kind of odd.